What is your American dream?
My American dreams at this moment, living the blissful aspect of knowing that I could be free of my detachments. If I could detach anything that is creating pain, and that this country has allowed me to become the best version of me, I think that is called the American dream for me.
The American dream too is about realization. The most important thing in my life is to find my home. I'm so grateful to be living in America, and it's such an experience for me. To connect with my soul is the way that I'm living my American dream.
Living the American dream in the wildest dream. Who would I ever thought that I was going to live in New York City, having these amazing choices and possibilities? America has been the best gift I ever had, because it has allowed me to become the best version of who I am.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. My name is Brad Bernstein. It is Tuesday, December 17th. I got confused for a second. Welcome, Yo-Yo.
Yes.
I didn't know if it was Tuesday or Wednesday. It was one of those, I'm having senior moments a lot these days. I was walking down the hall. I go, wait, is today hump day? And then no.
How do you not know the days? Usually when I'm like off for like weeks and I'm like, oh, I don't have nothing to do, that's when I don't know what the days are.
No, because
you're working.
I was so involved in work today. I had like a, like you ever like all of a sudden like get so focused. Not swamped, just focused.
Oh, you was focused.
I was focused, like laser focused. Exactly. That I was walking in, I go, wait a second, is today Tuesday or Wednesday? For a second, I had like 10 seconds of, wait, what's today?
Was it that, or because you want hump day to come a little faster?
I always like when hump day comes a little faster. Let's say hello in the meantime to Alexandra Jakes on Facebook.
Yeah.
Squad up. Ninny God Pickney, squad up. Christine Marie, squad up. Stefan Ferguson says, squad up, family. Blessings to you all. Christy Kinsali, Jessica Leamy. Has Jessica Leamy been joining us recently?
Yeah.
Myrtle Ray, how are you? Carol Anderson the Tiger saying squad up. Vina Gwen, how's everybody? Squad up, family and friends. Chetty Manbordy, he's just up. He's just up.
That's
he doesn't.
it?
He's just shortening the whole thing.
Is that what he said?
Just up. And Deanne Watson, and on YouTube, Sexy Shan Myers saying, hey, Brad, squad family. DJ Killer Buzz, squad up. Sandra Warren with a question. We will get to you in a few minutes. Ja Love saying hello to everybody. Back it up, Ricky. Donald Horton. I assume he's better from his cold he was complaining about.
I know.
Right?
It's going around.
Yes, it is. And Dalen Jack saying squad up.
Oh.
Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Yes.
It is 5:50 on the dot here in New York City.
It is.
Can you please tell everybody what they need to do while I start stretching?
Absolutely.
And getting ready.
Yeah, of course. All right,
For whatever
everybody.
I do.
Yeah, doing whatever you do. We just got to keep the camera off of you because it's a lot that he does over there when I start talking to you guys. All right, everybody on Facebook. We have Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
Wait a second, I forgot.
Somebody forgot.
Somebody forgot
Instagram.
Somebody forgot Instagram. And by the way, we have a new squad member, JLR1221.
What
saying,
up?
Hi, Brad. How are you? What up? So everybody, welcome JLR on Instagram.
Yeah.
And Ojuvita, how are you? And Priya Babe 13 joined as well.
Nice.
And now Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Why don't you tell everybody what they need to do?
All right, everybody on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, I need you all to join the Brad Squad Facebook fan page. All right, this is the main fan page that allows you to grant access of asking your questions before anybody else. So you can put it in early in the morning and you get a guaranteed answer first before any of the social media questions that I read. So I'm gonna give you guys the link. We're gonna put it in the comment section. You could actually see right under it says go on Facebook is at Bradshaw Live Brad Squad. So you guys have to put that in, and then you will become an official Brad Squad member. And so many different videos that we'll put on there, fun stuff, stuff about us. If you want to ask us personal questions, you can do that as well. All right, now on Facebook, I need everybody to start sharing. Click that share button, share it to anybody's page, share it to different friends and family, share it in an inbox. You can go into an inbox, you can create a whole group of friends and family, put different groups, maybe a group of just your friends, a group of just your family, group of people that you know on Facebook that are immigrants that might need some help. So you guys just share it to anybody that you know will benefit from this show. All right, we also need you guys to put all your questions in right now. It's the beginning of the show, so you get a better chance of getting your questions answered during the social media check-in. So you guys, if you put it in right now, like I said, it's a better chance of getting them answered. Remember yesterday, Natalie, she put it in real quick.
That's right.
And somehow it didn't get answered in social media check-in, but we still got to her. We still got to her.
I said Natalie had that big brain.
You did.
Right, because if you do ask your questions now, because everyone complains.
Right.
We get like 1,000, literally.
Yeah.
1,000, not 1,000, I think that's...
Hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yes.
Sometimes 500 questions a show.
Yes.
I can't possibly answer 500 questions.
Exactly.
No matter how fast they do it.
Exactly.
But if you ask your questions right up front, for sure.
So ask your questions
sure.
right now. For sure. Okay? All right. Also, show some emotions. Like, love, smiley face, wow face, mad face, whatever you feel. Make sure you click that on the video. Let us know how you guys are feeling. Now on YouTube, first thing we want you guys to do is subscribe. As you can see right there, the little red button and the bell right next to it. You guys have to click that bell because that's how you find out when we go live. You never know when we might pop up. You never know when we might upload a video. That is going to give you a notification, little ding when on your phone, any device that you have, whenever we go live. So make sure you guys subscribe and click that little bell. Also, we need you guys to put your questions in those comment sections as well. We definitely need you guys to share. Well, you already know how to share. You click that little arrow, copy the link, and I want you guys to put together, just like I said in Facebook, when I say put together a little group in your inbox, also put together a little group on your text message. Any text message app that you guys use, WhatsApp, Viber, regular text, any of that, I want you to copy the link and send it to everybody.
Wait a second, I have a proposal for Yo-Yo.
All right.
From Star Girl Mika. She says, I have a proposal question for you, Yo-Yo. When can I propose to you? Is that a real, what kind of proposal is this?
Whoa.
Is this a proposal for marriage?
Right.
Is this a proposal for a date?
Listen.
Is this a proposal for a business deal?
Just like Brad says to you guys, it's not enough information. I need more information.
Exactly.
Okay.
She's being a little vague on what the proposal is.
A little vague, because I don't want to speak out and it be something that's not what you mean.
Good point.
Yeah. All right, so make sure you guys share it. And also you could create a post on YouTube. So that's an awesome new little way of showing the show and letting your friends and family know about the show. Last but not least, I need you guys to please click that little thumbs up. Make that little thumb that's gray, make it blue. All right, it's very easy. It takes no time. You only have to do it one time because once you click that blue thumb, you're done, all right? So make sure everybody on YouTube, even if you're not on YouTube, if you're on Facebook watching and you know the YouTube channel and you know the link, just go on there and like it. You know what I mean? That's another way of you guys showing love to Brad and the team because we really do appreciate it. And of course on Instagram, our new friends and family, the new squad, we want you guys to definitely send this live to any of your friends and family on DM.
This is our second or third day on Instagram Live.
I think the third day. Yeah, so like you could easily send this live video to any of your friends in a DM. There's a little arrow that's pointed towards the right. You click on that, send it in a DM, go into your DMs list and just click it and just send it to all your friends and family. Anybody you think might need any help. All right, and now we're about to schmooze with Brad.
All right. So yesterday, Yo-Yo, I had a great idea. I said the best way, rather than arguing about politics, is we should all move to Wisconsin,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Because
Wisconsin.
I said it's about 1,000 people in Wisconsin
right.
who are going to decide on the presidential election, and they haven't even given thought to this impeachment or anything. They have no idea who they're going to vote for.
Are they even in America?
I don't even know. They're like doing their own thing on the farm out there in Wisconsin. They don't even know there's an impeachment happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Wisconsin, Ohio, Florida, perhaps Pennsylvania, perhaps Michigan. Those are the states. Those 4 or 5 states decide the entire presidential election.
Wow.
Your vote, yo-yo, in New York doesn't mean anything because
Nothing.
whoever the Democrat is going to win New York.
Yeah.
Your parents' votes out in California
Doesn't mean
absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a Democrat who wins California. And whoever happens to be living in Texas right now, your vote doesn't mean anything either because it's going to be a Republican.
Wow.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So it's really crucial. Every vote. So I had this idea yesterday, if anybody watched. I said, instead of us spending all this time and effort, arguing about politics, I think we should just all move to Wisconsin.
Right.
All right? And then vote Democrat, and then we got it, right?
There you go.
All right? And I said, instead of Bloomberg spending $100 million on his campaign, he should give everybody a voucher for $10,000 to move to Wisconsin,
Sheesh.
and he would win.
That's true.
Right?
This is
You
true.
should give everybody a $10,000 voucher, move to Wisconsin. He doesn't have to buy any commercials.
Right.
So what happened today? Okay, a Wisconsin judge, it happened Friday. A Wisconsin judge ordered 234,000 voter registrations tossed because they did not respond to a mailer within 30 days.
Oh, wow.
Now, 3 years ago, as I said, Donald Trump won Wisconsin by 23,000 votes. So this state, Wisconsin, this matters. And now a Wisconsin judge, some guy, one human being, just discounted 250,000 people's votes.
Right.
On Friday, Wisconsin Judge Paul Malloy. This is more important than the impeachment, and this doesn't get any news, but this is like vital to our election in 2020. On Friday, Wisconsin Judge Paul Malloy ordered that the registration of up to 234,000 voters be tossed out because they have moved. And this is a victory for the Republicans, the conservatives, and it could make it much more difficult for people to vote next year.
Right.
So most of these people, it is believed that most of these people are Democrat. They are not conservative. The judge sided with 3 voters represented by a conservative law firm who argued that the State Elections Commission should have immediately deactivated any of the roughly 234,000 voters who did not respond to a letter by October. And this is, by the way, what the Republicans do everywhere, okay? Not just in Wisconsin, because if you go vote by vote, Democrats outnumber Republicans.
Right.
Liberals outnumber conservatives. Vote by vote.
Yeah.
And they discredit voters, and they make the voting pool smaller on purpose so that they could win elections.
Right.
It's the way they do it.
Yeah.
It's a fact. All right?
How's that legal, though?
So the judge denied a request by the Elections Commission's attorney to put his decision on hold. Wisconsin Democrats don't see the decision as just following housekeeping rules when it comes to voter rolls. They believe conservatives are looking for ways to remove Democratic voters, just like I said. Now, the governor of Wisconsin, Tony Evers, who's a Democrat, he was elected by less than 30,000 votes last year. So he tweeted, this move pushed by Republicans to remove 200,000 Wisconsinites from the voter rolls is just another attempt at overriding the will of the people and stifling the democratic process. Now, I assume that this will be appealed. Okay, I can't imagine that this is the last word. But really, what it comes, votes, specific individual votes in certain states really matter, and specific individual votes in other states don't mean goat poop.
Right.
You know, it don't mean nothing. All right? But this matters. It hasn't even been in the top of the news.
Right.
This is what changes elections, and people don't pay attention to it. Meanwhile, Mitch McConnell, because we got to talk about the orange man, Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
He has rejected Chuck Schumer's call for President Trump's witnesses who witnessed his telephone calls to come and testify. So who are his witnesses? The National Security Advisor, John Bolton, the acting White House Chief of Staff, Mick Mulvaney, Robert Blair, who is Mulvaney's right-hand man, and budget official Michael Duffy. All of those people have firsthand knowledge of exactly what Trump was doing with Ukraine. He is being impeached for abuse of power and for stifling or obstructing Congress from investigating it. He has stopped these 4 people from testifying. These 4 people have direct knowledge of what Trump did, and he's stopping it. Schumer says they should come testify at the Senate trial, and Mitch McConnell says absolutely not. He later told reporters, and by the way, the liberal news makes this a big deal because they're comparing it to a criminal trial or a civil trial. But this is not a criminal or civil trial. This is a political trial.
Right.
Okay? And McConnell has every right not to be an impartial juror because he's a Republican. Okay? But he said to reporters, I'm not an impartial juror. This is a political process. There is not anything judicial about it. Impeachment is a political decision. The House made a partisan political decision to impeach. I would anticipate we will have a largely partisan outcome in the Senate. I'm not impartial about it at all. In this particular case, he is absolutely right. It's not a criminal trial. Donald Trump's not up for a crime. He's up for losing his job. Okay, once he's out of office, then they could charge him with crimes.
Can sue it.
Okay, but right now he's just up for you're getting kicked out of office.
Right.
That's a political decision, and the senators are going to vote based on the will of their particular voters and how close their election is. Okay, if you're a senator, for example, if you're a senator who may be retiring, and there's a few Republican senators who are retiring, you don't care what the voters think. You're going to vote your conscience. You're going to vote what's best for America. If you're a senator who just got elected and your election's not for 6 more years, you probably don't really care much about what the voters think. If you're a guy like Mitch McConnell, who's up for election, he's the majority leader, up for election in 2020, you care very much what the voters think because you want your job. And the last thing you would do as a Republican in a Republican stronghold is go against your president.
Yeah.
So it's very much a political trial. It is not, an impeachment is all of them. Clinton, Nixon, Andrew Johnson, the 4 of them, they were all political trials. They're not criminal trials. Now, Trump sent a scathing letter to Nancy Pelosi. He compared this to the Salem witch trials.
Oh, God.
Okay. He wrote on White House letterhead, and it memorializes Trump's defense on the eve of his expected impeachment. The House is expected to approve the articles of impeachment tomorrow. Trump rehashed his usual arguments against impeachment, including the Democrats are seeking revenge over their 2016 loss, and that his call with the Ukrainian president was perfect. He wrote, "There is nothing I would rather do than stop referring to your party as the do-nothing Democrats. Unfortunately, I don't know that you will ever give me a chance to do so." He also compared this trial to the Salem witch trials. To the Salem witch trials, he said more due process was afforded to those accused in the Salem witch trials. Now, I was not around. Okay, I was not around during the Salem witch trials. Okay, it was a little before my time, even though I claim I have senior moments. And however, my recollection of history of the Salem witch trials is that there were a lot of innocent women who got burned at the stake and accused of being a witch.
Right.
I would believe, Donald Trump, that there is more evidence that you abused your power than there were that these women
were actual
witches.
Yes, I agree.
That is my belief.
I agree.
There's a lot of pro-impeachment protests. I was wondering when this was going to happen. And apparently it's happening tonight. There's a nationwide rally called No One is Above the Law. It's being organized by the activist group Move On, and they plan on protesting in favor of Trump's impeachment all over in many cities. They're going to take place at 5:30 p.m., which is right now a little 6 o'clock here in New York time, at places like Times Square in New York, and at 5:30 p.m. at Los Angeles City Hall, amongst other places. Rick Gates, more Trump news. As I turn the card, it's just Trump, 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 Trump.
Hey,
doesn't end.
That's the star.
It doesn't end. Trump, Trump, Trump. Can we have Trump? We were supposed to have Trumpless Thursdays, right?
Yes.
Or is it Trumpless Tuesdays?
We
have Hump Day Wednesday, Fridays. Was it supposed to be Trumpless Tuesdays or Trumpless Thursdays?
I thought it was Trumpless Tuesdays, but
It was supposed to be Trumpless Tuesdays.
We got to be consistent with it, right?
We're in impeachment.
We have to talk about him now.
Can we have a production meeting, Yo-Yo?
Yes.
Can we change Trumpless Tuesdays to Trumpless Thursdays?
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm good with that.
You're good with that?
I'm good with that.
Squad, are you good with Trumpless Thursdays?
Yes.
Nothing about Trump. Don't mention that guy's name.
Yeah.
All right. But meanwhile, by the way, he's going to drain the swamp. How many of his people went to jail already? Mm-hmm. Rick Gates, former assistant campaign aide to Donald Trump, he cooperated with authorities. He's getting 3 years probation, and he's going to go to jail for 45 days. He pled guilty to one offense, and it's weekends. He's doing like a weekend at Bernie's in jail.
What?
Yeah, 2 weekends at Bernie's. Number 2, Gates was sentenced to 45 days in jail. Not 45 days in jail, 45 weekend days in jail. So he goes every weekend until for 45 weekend days, which I guess is about half a year. Okay, and 3 years probation, and it was all for lying to investigators.
This is the thing. They need to give somebody some real jail time to really scare the panties off these men.
Manafort got some real jail time.
Right.
Papadopoulos got I think a couple months. That's nothing, right?
It's nothing.
Right?
It's nothing.
Nothing, right?
Nah.
Young black kid with
what?
With some crack. What, like a little crack? What does he get?
Come on now.
3 years, right? 3 to 6.
Easy.
Right? Look at Bullet 8. I put this down already. It was reported today that Manafort, he was hospitalized for a cardiac event. Manafort, which we're now changing the subject, was President Trump's campaign advisor.
Right.
Who cares? Let him go.
Right.
All right. Meanwhile, Whoopi Goldberg.
Hey.
Did you see this?
Yes, that's my auntie.
Okay, Whoopi Goldberg. That's your auntie?
Yeah, well, in my head. I mean, she gave me this ring.
What ring?
This Cartier ring.
Whoopi Goldberg gave you a Cartier ring?
Yeah.
Did she propose to you?
No, it was her brother's.
It was her brother's?
Yeah, see, guys?
Why did Whoopi Goldberg give you this Cartier ring?
I used to go to her house all the time.
What?
In Jersey.
Why?
Because I was friends with Raven Simone, so we always went to check on her. She's a great person. I love Whoopi.
Listen, dropping names all over the place, aren't we?
Dropping
names all
me.
over the place. So meanwhile, apparently there was a tiff on a show I never watch.
The View.
But it's a big deal.
Yes.
Or at least the news is making a big deal. Or at least Whoopi's publicists are making a big deal to get people to watch The View. Yeah. I think, Yo-Yo, me and you should have a tiff.
Let's do it.
And then let's publicize it and get people to watch our show.
I'm okay with it.
What should we tiff about?
We gotta think about it.
We gotta think about it.
Because we
gotta make it look like it's natural.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, you calling me Jonathan and me calling you Bradley.
Yo, man, don't call me Bradley.
Oh, don't call me Jonathan.
You want to start a fight?
Let's do it.
Let's go to commercial. We don't have a commercial.
Right. We gotta work on it.
Yeah, we gotta work on it. I can't be mad at you. You're too nice of a guy, man.
And you're too great of a boss.
I try to be mad at him. I can't. All right, so apparently Whoopi and Meghan McCain, they got into a fight.
Yeah.
They had it out. And Meghan McCain got in her
feelings.
Feelings hurt. She goes, girl, please stop talking.
That's what Whoopi said.
It says here, Meghan said that.
Nah, Whoopi said that too.
Whoopi said that.
Yeah.
I said, I can't believe Meghan talks like that.
Nah, she didn't.
She wouldn't talk like that, right?
No.
All right, so Whoopi says, girl, please stop talking. And Meghan said, okay, I won't talk for the rest of the show.
Like a
baby.
brat. Like a little
baby,
brat.
Like a little baby, right?
You're a professional reporter.
What were they even fighting about? Let's watch a clip and see what they're fighting about. I don't even know. Let's find out.
Girl, please stop talking. Please stop talking right now. Because you know what? What's happening? Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
I won't talk the rest of the show. No problem.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
So basically, one of the
what happened? Do you watch this thing?
I don't.
Okay.
No, but I have to know about current events and Now,
Stargirl says she watches. She said Meghan's always disrespectful.
Exactly. So that's basically what it's all about. So one of the hosts was talking about how someone like Bill Clinton got, basically almost impeached or whatever because of messing with a girl or whatever. And Trump has used, governments, other countries to help his campaign and has broken the law like blatantly, and he's still in office. So she doesn't understand how that could be possible. And then that's when Meghan McCain was saying, well, I have to, I have to talk on, basically was trying to, she was on his side, obviously, and she wasn't letting her other co-hosts speak. So then Whoopi's job is to be the moderator, and she has to say, okay, you guys, let's calm down. You could speak now. You could speak. And like Meghan was real disrespectful. She was just like, like a little kid. She was acting. She was pouting. She was like, she's basically a brat. So that's when Whoopi was like,
and by
quiet
the way,
down.
I'm going to give you the answer for this. I can tell you the answer in 3 sentences.
Go ahead.
Okay, to why, what happened to Bill Clinton and what Donald Trump did, and there's no question what Bill Clinton. Okay, everyone says he got impeached for having an extramarital affair. He got impeached for lying under oath.
Right.
About an extramarital affair, and then he got acquitted in the Senate. And basically, there was enough senators to say what he did was not a big enough crime to warrant removing him from office.
Right.
But he never put his own self interests above the United States. He put his self interest above his marriage to his wife.
Right.
Okay, Hillary Clinton. Okay, he was thinking with his little head instead of his big head. That is absolutely true. He lied about it under oath, but he never put the interest. His little head or big head was never put his interest ahead of the United States of America. Now, what happened here, it dawned on me yesterday, and I even had a conversation about it with Jilly. I saw an interview with Carly Fiorina. Now, if you saw Carly Fiorina, she used to be the CEO of Hewlett Packard, and she ran against Donald Trump for president. And if you recall, Donald Trump had an insult for everybody he ran against. And his insult for Carly Fiorina was, look at that horse face.
Yeah,
Remember
that was crazy.
How could you vote for this horse face?
Right.
So we haven't heard from Carly Fiorina, basically. Donald Trump called her horse face, and she fell off. Nobody voted for her. Poor Carly. And we haven't heard from her since.
Right.
So now she had an interview, and she says, I believe President Trump should be impeached by the House of Representatives because what he did was put his self-interests ahead of the United States of America.
Right.
Yet I don't think he should be removed from office. And then in a poll I saw that was came out about 12 hours earlier, 54% of Americans believe Donald Trump should be impeached by the House of Representatives.
Right.
Only 50% believe he should be removed from office. There's 4% of people who will say he did something wrong.
That's crazy.
But I don't want him. I still want him to be the president.
It's crazy.
So what is that? What is it about? What's going on? And what's going on is this. Just like Donald Trump puts his interests above country, everybody is putting their self-interests above country as well.
Right.
Okay? So we don't care whether he broke the law. We don't care whether he broke the Constitution. He can do whatever the heck he wants as long as he's making my life better.
Right.
Okay? And that is why Donald Trump, whether it's a wealthy person who says, I don't care what he does, he's cut my taxes. Or it's a Christian conservative who says, I don't care what he does, he packed the courts with conservative judges who are going to outlaw abortion.
Right.
Or it's a gun-toting, guy from somewhere who says, I don't care what he does, I'm allowed to have my 50 rifles still.
Right.
Because if a Democrat comes, I won't have my rifles. Or if a Democrat comes, I'm going to pay more in taxes. Or if a Democrat comes, they're going to make abortion legal. I don't want to kill those babies. I'm waiting for the babies to be born and get shot by somebody.
Right.
Then once they're alive, they can get killed. That's perfectly fine. But we don't kill them while they're in the womb.
Right.
Which is quite hypocritical. But
Yeah,
that's basically what
absolutely.
they feel. So, I mean, not that they say go around killing babies, but there's a lot of gun violence. So people are allowing Trump to break the law for their own self-interest.
Right.
And that is why Donald Trump is going to be in office, despite the fact that he tried to bribe the president of Ukraine to give him dirt on Joe Biden to allow him to win the election in 2020. and then refused to cooperate and obstructed the investigation with Congress. He's guilty on both.
It's crazy.
So that's what's going on. Meanwhile, in more pumpkin news, guess which person? He did not win Time Man of the Year, but he won Fibber of the Year. Guess who it is? It's a lie from President Donald Trump has been crowned the Lie of the Year.
Are you serious?
For a historic third time. It has never happened before in the history of the world that somebody has won Lie of the Year 3 years in a row. Politifact, a nonprofit U.S. political fact-checking site, announced yesterday that the award for 2019, again, 3 times is a charm, goes to Donald Trump's claim that the anonymous whistleblower reported his July 25th call with the Ukrainian leader, Zelensky, almost completely wrong. Trump's conduct and requests on that call are now the heart of the impeachment inquiry. So
he said he wanted to win awards.
Now he has won Lie of the Year. He has beat out Pinocchio, who came in second. And the character from Jim Carrey's Liar Liar, who came in third. Let's see what else. Finally, because it's Christmas time.
Yes.
Right?
It is my favorite time of the year.
Santa left us, or is he still here?
He's probably back there
Still
somewhere.
back there somewhere?
Somewhere working.
So,
oh, there he is.
There he is. Santa's here still. So, guess what? Oh, I think I told you this, so it's not a good game for you.
Let's try it again.
All right, or maybe I didn't tell you. Guess what? If song finally hit #1 this week on the Billboard charts, and it is considered the song that took the longest ever to hit #1 on the Billboard charts.
It has to be the only #1 song that everybody plays every year. Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas.
That's right. It was originally released in 1994.
That is crazy.
Okay, never hit #1.
Wow, that's insane to me.
It never hit #1. It was her first Christmas album. She was 24 years old when she recorded it. It sold more than 15 million copies.
Wow.
Never hits #1. Comes close every Christmas, but for the first time since 1994, has finally hit #1 this year, and it is now took the longest time ever from the release to hit #1. It beat out the Chipmunk song by the Chipmunks. You've heard that Chipmunk song, right? Yep. Yeah. Now, Mariah, this is. I don't know what that was, but is that what the Chipmunks?
No, I guess so. Alvin is back there too.
So it is now Mariah Carey's 19th #1 song.
Oh, dope.
She is now in second place, behind who? With the most #1 songs ever.
Ooh, is it Michael Jackson?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. The Beatles.
The Beatles with 20.
And
here's a fun fact: who's in third? It's also not Michael Jackson.
Is it an old, like...
I'm not telling you who's in third. Think about who has had a lot of #1s.
Whitney Houston.
Close, but no.
I don't know.
Riri.
Ooh, really?
Yes,
my wife.
Rihanna, yes, with 14.
Dang, yeah.
Yes.
Riri's
And finally,
getting it.
for Christmas, besides All I Want Is You, you want some fruitcake too, right?
I don't like fruitcake.
But some families pass down some jewelry. Some families pass down watches, even recipes. But a Michigan family has its own heirloom, Yonathan.
Ew, what?
A 141-year-old fruitcake
How?
that they pass down from generation to generation.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it says, it's a great thing, says Julie Ruttinger, the great-great-granddaughter of Fidela Ford, who baked the cake in 1878. It's a tradition, it's a legacy. It was initially preserved in honor of Ford. She established a tradition of baking the cake and letting it age for a year before serving it for the holidays. But she died right before the cake could be eaten.
What?
Yes, in 1878. And by the time the holidays arrived, the family considered her work a legacy and no longer a food. Until 2013's death, the cake was in the care of Morgan Ford, who was Fidela Ford's great-grandson. He took care of it by the day. He took care of it by the day he left the earth. The fruitcake meant everything to him. He had stored it in an antique glass dish on the top shelf of a china cabinet in his Michigan home, which is where it remained. The Guinness World Records, they still have not come to us. They still have not come to us for Speed Round, but they do not have an entry for the oldest fruitcake. But as for cakes in general, the Ford fruitcake is nowhere near the oldest, according to the Daily News of Detroit. That honor goes to a 4,176-year-old cake that was found in an Egyptian tomb. That is according to the Guinness Book of World Records. It's on display in a food museum in Switzerland. Now, during this 93 years that Morgan Ford held on to this family fruitcake, he showed it off at church, family gatherings, and shared stories about the history of the fruitcake. You know, in 1929, it got a little moldier.
That's disgusting.
What kind of story are you going to tell about this fruitcake? Do you know how smelly and moldy
Right,
that fruitcake's got to be?
that's what I'm saying. Like, is it not smelly and moldy? Like,
That's what I would think.
I'm good.
I don't think I'm going to go over to their family house
Ever.
for fruitcake.
Ever.
All right, Yonathan, Yo-Yo, Elias, we have some immigration questions to ask. Why don't you tell everybody what they need to do?
Absolutely.
Stretch one more time.
Yeah, all right, everybody on Facebook, it's time to start your watch parties. All right, now you already know how to do this. All you have to do is click that share button. It's a little arrow that says share, and the two options down, it'll say host a watch party, and then click start. What that does is it takes our video and it puts it onto your page and on your timeline, and it sends a notification to all of those friends that says that they're online right now. So it's very easy. All right, I say it every day. It's very, very easy. If you don't know how to do it, hit me up on the comment section. If you need me to say it again, step by step, I'll do it. This is what I'm here for. All right, I need you all to do this, okay? Click share. Two options down, it says host a watch party. It will say how many friends you have online. Then it will go from this page to your page. And I need you guys to welcome all your friends and family into that chat. I want you to bring them from that chat into the main chat room as well on Bradshaw Live's page or whatever, because I need you guys to introduce them into the Brad Squad. This is your job to introduce your friends and family into the Brad Squad, and the Brad Squad as a whole, it's your job to welcome them in, all right? So everybody, start your watch parties. And now on YouTube, of course, we definitely want you guys to create that post. That's a new thing that we got going on. You click on share, of course, subscribe, like you see, but then we need you guys to create that post. I haven't really talked too much about this. This is very important because it's new. So this is a new way to get everybody out onto the YouTube page, because we need to build up on the subscribers as well. It went up really fast, and now we're staying in one number. So I need you guys to bring people in, make sure that they subscribe, all right? And also, of course, we definitely want you guys to click that thumbs up. All right, everybody on YouTube right now, click that thumbs up. And last but not least, everybody on Instagram Live that is watching, send it into a DM. I wanna challenge every single person who's watching right now to at least send it to 3 people. That will literally take you 7 seconds. It's so easy. All right, so click that little arrow that's pointing to the right and DM it to any one of your friends and family. All right, guys, now for the meat and potatoes of the show. This is where you guys call in and get all of your answers to your immigration questions.
All right, let's ready for some meat and potatoes. Let's go to Marcia in New York. Marcia, how are you? Marcia,
hi, Brad.
How are you? Are you under the sea or are you above water right now?
I'm above water.
All right, so maybe it's
How are you
raining
guys?
outside heavily. I don't know.
No, it's not right now. It's stopped right now, and I'm on my way from work.
All right, what can I do?
Brad, I have 2 questions to ask you. I am an American citizen. I have 2 kids in Jamaica. They're over 30 years old. I received food stamps years ago when my daughter was born. Is it possible for me to file for a green card for them?
Yes, because as long as you're not getting food stamps now, and by the time they get their interview, it'll be more than 3 years from now. They only look at if you got food stamps in the last 36 months.
Last 36 months.
Right, so by 36 months, so by the time your daughters get their appointments, it's going to be about 4 years from now. So even if you get off food stamps today, it'll be fine. Just don't take them in the future.
Okay. One other question. What's the fee?
The fee is $535 filing fee for each I-130 visa petition.
Okay.
All right?
Can I get off here? I want to make an appointment to come and see you.
That's the filing fee for government, not for me. Hold on one second, though.
I know.
All right, okay. I don't want people, oh, you told me on air it's $500. No, that's for the government. Lennox in Charlotte, North Carolina. Lennox.
Yes, but
How are
thank
you?
you so much for having me, man. And thank you guys for all you guys do for
My
us
pleasure.
immigrants.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Yeah, okay. Brad, I came here in 2002 on a work visa. I got married in 03, and me and my wife had some kind of disagreement and pushing and shoving, and I was arrested. I pled guilty to domestic battery.
Right.
And I did classes for about 3 months and whatever. 4 years after that, she called the cops and said I smacked her on her arm. They took a picture of it in the dark, and I was arrested. Well, you know.
And let me say this: whether they took a picture in the dark or not, it doesn't matter. As soon as there's an accusation of physical abuse of one spouse on another, you're getting arrested, no matter if there's evidence of it or not.
Yes.
All right, so that's
Absolutely.
what happens.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's and that was what happened. So, you know, I was arrested and they gave me a legal aid, and he told me to just go ahead and plead guilty because it's best. I did. I pled guilty, and again, I did a year probation.
So
and
now you have two cases
and
for
I did my
domestic
classes.
violence.
Yep. I had two. I renewed my green card this year, my 10 years. But I want to file for my citizenship. What are the odds of me
having
getting that?
having a conviction for domestic violence is a deportable offense. That doesn't mean that every time immigration takes a look at you, that they will automatically deport you. A lot of times it's a numbers game. They can only deport so many people. So even though you got your green card renewed, you got lucky. Every time immigration takes a look at you, they're looking at you with fresh eyes, whether it's you travel again. Because I hear people all the time, well, I renewed my green card, so therefore I could travel, and then they travel once, and then they're still fine, and then they travel a second time, and then immigration grabs them. So in other words, every time immigration looks at you from traveling, renewing your green card, filing your citizenship, it's a new fresh eye, it's a new officer, and they're making a fresh determination whether or not to deport you or put you in deportation. And amongst other things is, besides the fact, are you deportable? Do they have the room for you? Did they make their numbers? Are they overcrowded with the judges today? Is there somebody behind you who's an easier person to deport? It's so many things go into it because it's a numbers game to them. So my answer to you is you have 5 years good moral character, assuming you do. The answer is yes, you can file your citizenship, and yes, you should become a citizen, but they always have the right to deny you and put you in deportation. And the thing that we would need to figure out is if they put you in deportation, and they would, and by the way, if they did that, they would be denying you wrongly, and I would take you right into federal court because they can't deny you because you're deportable for purposes of putting you in deportation. They can only deny your citizenship if you don't have 5 years good moral character or you're not an aggravated felon. That's a whole other situation. But we have to think in advance. If they violate your rights and you're in deportation, can we beat the deportation case? Because that will really determine whether or not they deny you or not. Because if they look at it and say, well, this guy's got relief from deportation, he's got a good case, we're not going to bother doing it, we're going to make him a citizen. So a lot goes into it other than should you file, should you not file. And I always say when you have a criminal record, you should never be doing anything with immigration before consulting with an attorney. So hold on one second, okay?
Okay.
Consultation. Let's go to Steve in Orlando. Steve.
Yes.
How are you?
Hi, how are you today?
Good. What's going on?
Good. I called last week about my son that's in Jamaica. He went to an interview in April, and I said, I haven't heard back anything. Now, it's getting worse because yesterday they called him, immigration in Kingston called him and said, you need to review your medical. Is that possible?
Yeah,
Because
anything's possible. I don't know, he had drugs in his system. He just the doctor did the medical wrong. I don't know what's going on, why he would need to redo the medical. Maybe the medical's old. How long has he been stuck there in Jamaica?
Yeah, the interview was in April.
Okay, the interview was in April, and now it's now December. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the medical's 9 months old, so they may have to redo it again. I don't know what the delay was. Just make, between me and you and, the couple hundred people or thousands of people who are watching right now, if your son, they're gonna most likely urine test your son for drugs. They're gonna ask him about taking drugs. If his answer is yes, they're gonna deny him. If there's drugs in the system, they're gonna deny him. That's what they really look for. Even just simple marijuana use as reasons to deny these days.
So because what happened is that I'm setting up an interview. I'm setting up a case with you, and I should call back on Thursday to do the payment and then to go forward for you to see what you can do.
Okay.
So so apart from the payment, what other information you need from me?
Well, we'll have a call after you hire us, and I'll talk to you personally about it, or someone will talk to you personally about it, and make sure that you're all covered. So hold on 1 second.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Kenrick in Clearwater, Florida. Kenrick.
Hello, Eden Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
What's going on?
So, I'm asked. My question is: so I did a removal of condition the other day through marriage.
Yes.
And they sent me a notice in the mail in return about extending my permit to 18 for the next 18 months.
Yes.
I want to know what is the next step after that.
Wait for an interview.
After 18 months, they're going to call me for an interview?
Well, hopefully they'll call you before 18 months, but yeah, it's taking over a year now. And you and your wife filed together jointly?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're going to bring you and your wife in. They want to make sure it's still a bona fide marriage, and then you'll get your permanent green card.
And then I get the permanent one after that?
Correct.
All right. So my son, he get his own through me. My wife filed for him, and he came here shortly after. How would his one work? What do he have to submit when his time comes for him to remove his condition?
Well, if he got his green card within 6 months of you, he should have been included on your I-751. If he got
not 6 months after me, he got his own about a year.
Okay, so when he entered, it was over a year. I get it. When he entered the United States, how long were you married to your wife?
2 years.
All right, so he should have got a 10-year card. Did he get a 10-year card?
No, he got 2 years. He still got 2 year one.
If he truly entered the United States after the 2nd year anniversary of your marriage to your wife, then they issued his green card incorrectly, and he should apply for a 10-year card and just do an I-90 and say, I was given the wrong card, and show proof of his entry and proof of the marriage happened more than 2 years ago. If it was less than 2 years, then he's got to file his own I-751.
Yeah. But let me try to see if I can remember. Because I got my green card in 2018. Yeah, 2018. So 2020 is where the 2 years after
But that has nothing to do with your son. The thing with your son is, what is your date of marriage?
October of 2016.
And when did your son enter America?
He entered in America in 2017.
So he was okay. So if you got married,
my bad. We are in 2019. No, he entered 2018.
Okay.
He entered October 2018.
But you got married you got married in October 2016. So now the question becomes, did he enter the United States a couple days before your 2 year anniversary or a couple days after your 2 year anniversary? That's a big difference.
Oh, yeah. He entered on the 11th, and we got married on the 17th.
Okay, so then he gets a 2 year card. 90 days before October 11th, 2020, so sometime in August of 2020, he's going to file an I-751 to remove the conditions, and it's going to be because he is his father entered into a bona fide marriage, so he's going to sign the I-751 with his stepmother.
Oh, with her. He's going to file it with her.
Correct.
Oh, I thought he was going to file it on his own, like, and so forth.
No, he's
and
going to
just
file it with her.
Oh, I see.
All right.
I see. And when he filed it with her, would he get
You get an extension just like you did.
Oh, is that it? Oh, like me did. Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to know. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Let's go to Lisa in Mount Vernon, New York. Lisa.
Hi. Good evening,
Hi,
Brad.
Lisa.
How are you?
How you doing?
I'm good. I just want to say thank you so much for all the information that you've been giving out.
My pleasure.
Okay. My question is, I did my interview October of this year. I got married. I-8 458 or something like that. Yeah.
I-45.
And upon the interview, I used to live in Mount Vernon, but I moved to North Carolina, and that's where I did the interview. But when I was finished with the interview, I didn't get a letter. I didn't get anything to say. Right. I didn't know what was going on.
You showed up. You walked out. Nobody gave you anything.
No, nobody gave me anything.
What did the officer say to you when you walked out?
She didn't say anything. She said they'll get back to me if anything. But I have the app on my phone which shows that they said my case will be reviewed and da.
So what's the question?
Anyways, on the 4th of this month, I called USCIS because I was, it's nerve-wracking.
Sure.
So I called to find out what was going on. And they made an inquiry for me, and I got an email from them stating that, just let me read it. Just a minute. They said, thank you for contacting USCIS, da. Okay, all of that. And then they said that USCIS has reviewed your service request. According to USCIS records, we are unable to move forward with your application until the required background checks have been completed. At this time, we are unable to determine what the adjudication of your case will be.
So basically what they're saying is, dear Lisa, let me feed you some BS. Nobody's looked at your file. Basically it.
Oh.
Okay. You're back when the
the
background checks is code word for nobody's made a decision on your case, and we have no idea when we're going to do it. Okay. Maybe it's the background checks. Maybe it's something else. Who knows? The only person who knows is the immigration officer, and they didn't write that letter to you. So
no,
what you can do, it's been pending for more than 120 days, assuming you're in a bona fide marriage with your spouse and everything else went well. You have three choices. You could sit on your hands and do absolutely nothing. You can call immigration yourself, which is what you did. You can have a lawyer call immigration. You could have your husband's congressman or senator call immigration. You're gonna get the same basic letter back. Dear Lisa, let me feed you some BS.
My husband was in the military. Okay, sorry.
Let me finish. Or your third choice, whether he's in the military or not, doesn't matter. Or
no, I'm just saying they called officer to ask
if it's a bona fide marriage.
Met me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'm sure the officer I assume said yes. So so now, or lastly, because you gave three choices. I'm basically, by the way, I'm taking the assumption this is a bona fide loving marriage, okay? So based on a bona fide loving marriage, you got three choices. Do nothing, call immigration and get a BS letter back, or have someone else call on your behalf. Or three, file a mandamus or threaten to file a mandamus, which is I'm going to sue your tuchus if you don't give us a green card soon because you're violating my rights. Those are your three choices.
Okay.
All right, so if you need help with that, hold on 1 second.
Oh.
All right, let's go to Carlos in Winchester, Virginia. Carlos.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm all right, man. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Oh, good. I like your good work, man. I get a couple knowledge and information
Thank
from
you.
it. But I got a couple questions, though.
What?
Well, I have a felony, which I'm assuming is a felony for this.
You have a felony, which you assume is a felony. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It was I got do 9 months in prison.
For
9
what?
months.
For what? For what?
For it's money laundering. It's actually mail fraud and wire fraud.
Okay, so in immigration, for immigration purposes, they only have aggravated felonies, crimes of moral turpitude. There's no felony in immigration. It's either, then there's sometimes you're convicted of a felony and it's a crime of moral turpitude, and sometimes you're convicted of a misdemeanor and it ends up being an aggravated felony. So what you plead guilty to criminally, or what you were found guilty to criminally, doesn't always line up with immigration. Now, for cases involving fraud, deceit, where there's something, somebody, and I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but you've pled guilty to something, whether you did it or not. There's lots of people who plead guilty. I'm not passing judgment on you, okay? But when
I'm listening.
Okay, but when you have a case where somebody basically got ripped off, and there was a crime involved in the ripping off, and you plead guilty to ripping off somebody, it's a fraud case, okay? And if the rip-off, because I'm using, layman's terms, if the rip-off was in excess of $10,000, that makes you an aggravated felon. Now you got a problem.
Which it was.
Okay, now you got a problem. So you're an aggravated felon.
But so my question is after I did my 9 months, I went to the detention center, which is an immigration facility, for like 4 months, fighting my case in there. And the judge approved my green card, my 2-year green card. Because I went to the court, the judge approved my green card.
All right, so what happened with you? It's a weird thing in the law, okay? If you're not found guilty of a crime of violence and you're an aggravated felon without a green card, you can apply for a waiver and adjust your status to get a green card, which it sounds like is what you did.
Yes, that's what I did.
Versus you already have a green card, you're an aggravated felon, you're swept out of the country. So you got that waiver in deportation while applying for a green card. As an aggravated felon, you had a good lawyer, because those are hard to do. So
yes, she was.
So congratulations to whoever your lawyer was. Did a good job. All right. So
but what she was telling me, my question is, what she was telling me, she said I couldn't leave the country. But
the answer is the answer is yes, because once you get a waiver, that's a waiver from, I don't know if you ever read the Bible, from Adam and Eve, which is the first verse and chapter in the Bible. Okay, you have a waiver from everything you did from Adam and Eve up until the day the judge gives you the waiver. Everything you did from Adam and Eve to the day the judge gives you the waiver is waived. So as long as you don't have any criminal record after that, you can travel.
Okay, so as long as I don't have any, because I don't have any criminal record prior from back then.
Yeah, the answer is based on what you're telling me, you can travel. If you want me to actually look at the record and confirm what you're telling me is what I'm understanding what you're telling me to be 100% certain, then have a consultation. But based on what you're telling me, you can travel. And I will tell you, you should thank your lucky stars. It is extraordinarily difficult to get a waiver in removal, adjusting your status as an aggravated felon. So lucky you got it. Good job.
What the lawyer was saying to me, thank you. What the lawyer was saying to me too, he said the reason why it's easier because I didn't get a green card. I was having a work permit, but I didn't get a green card.
But that's what I just finished telling you. I said that if you're not found guilty of a crime of violence as an aggravated felon, you can file to adjust your status and file for a waiver. It's an extraordinarily hard threshold to meet to get that green card, but you did it. Versus you adjusted your status, you're now in deportation with the green card, you're an aggravated felon, you are out. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. They would deport you. So for you, you got lucky. Good for you, and you can travel.
Okay. And how much? Can you tell me how much the consultation fee is?
$71 million for a consultation. I'm just listening. No, I'm only kidding. Hold on one second. It's a hundred.
Okay.
It's a couple hundred. But hold on one second. It's not even a couple hundreds. Listen to that. All right, let's go to Rachel in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Rachel.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm blessed, thank you. How about you?
Hey, what's going on?
First of all, I just want to say you are an outstanding person.
Thank you very much.
You should get an award. And I also think that when you're speaking to people, you should tell them to bring their listening ear, because people like to talk, they don't like to listen. That's the problem with all of us calling in. We don't like to listen to you. We just like to talk.
Bravo,
so I'm sorry about that.
Bravo.
So on behalf of all of us, I'm apologizing
for recognizing
what
all of
us
that.
is doing.
Thank you.
I'm really sorry. So
all right.
just tell them, because my teacher always said that whenever she comes to class. Okay, students, give me your listening ear. So if we can listen, I think it will be much more easier. But we don't like to listen, so I'm sorry about that. So.
And by the way, I have trouble listening too. So, I'm as guilty as, but I'm telling you the truth. I'm as guilty as anybody else, because I always tell people, get to the point, because my attention span, everybody's attention span, especially mine too.
Right.
Everybody's attention span is small.
But the thing
so I just want to get people to the point that just give me the information I need so I can answer your question. So a lot of times I tell people, you're telling me wrong. I don't need to know this stuff. But people want to get it off their chest.
You have the experience, so
right.
I believe we should listen to you. Just having a mom and dad, you should listen to the mistakes your parents have made. That way, you, the child, don't have to make the same mistake, like dating the wrong person or marrying the wrong person, that kind of stuff. So I just feel if people would listen more, they would understand you better, because you're an outstanding man. So thank you so much for that.
Look at the big brain on Rachel.
Right.
What a big brain. We like you, Rachel. Do you have a question, or you just called to tell me how wonderful I am?
I do have a question, because I've been listening for a while before I decided to ask you. So I got my 10-year green card through Bauer.
Mm-hmm. Where are you from?
And of course, originally from Nigeria.
Okay.
And of course, I was divorced the person, and I moved on, and I remarried again. But I went to Nigeria to remarry, of course. And coming back, I filed for him. I actually filed his application in March 2018. So my question for you is, I have two of them. March of this year, 2019, made it 1 year, and we're about getting into March of next year, which is going to make it 2 years. So at what point, because I haven't heard anything from immigration, the last thing I heard from them in July, they said, the application has been moved to Vermont. And I haven't heard anything.
Are you a citizen or you're a resident?
No, I have a green card through Bauer.
How long have you had the green card?
I got my green card in May 2017.
Okay. So your case is pending almost 2 years and they haven't done anything?
Almost. So that's my question for you is, at what stage? Because I was thinking, usually from what I read, I don't know. From what I read, I thought it takes 24 months because I'm a green card holder. So my question for you is, at what point, what's the mark where I'm going to file a mandamus?
Now.
That is one. And then number two question is, can I still apply for my citizenship by February? Because I got my green card in May of 2017.
Yes. Okay, so to answer the question number two is, you can file for your citizenship 90 days before the 3-year anniversary of you having a green card. So it's the same rules, assuming the abuse was from an American citizen. So it would be the same rules.
Absolutely.
Same rules as if you were married to him. So yes, 90 days before the 3-year anniversary, you can file for your citizenship. And when you said, when is the time to do the mandamus? Now.
What? Now?
Now. You can absolutely do it.
Okay. I thought I have to wait for a certain amount of time.
You've waited more than enough, 20 months, and priority dates have been current for 20 months. So if they approved your case a year ago, your husband would be here already. It's not like priority dates aren't current.
Yeah. And even when I went to check the processing time of green card holders online, and they have gone past his date. They're at September of 2018.
Now's the time to do it.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
So
I really appreciate
it.
you.
I agree with everything you say, but yes, now is the time to do it. And we can help you even from New York to Michigan if you want. So hold on one second.
Okay.
Go ahead. What? I'll give you all the time.
In that situation where I already have a lawyer, so how do I move my application to you guys?
You have a consultation with me, and you say, Brad, you're hired. I'm going to fire the other lawyer, and you sign a piece of paper, and we write a letter to the other lawyer saying, hi, I'm hired, you're fired, send me the file. And it could go both ways. Somebody who's a client to Brad, they could go to your lawyer, and he can do the same thing to me. You're the captain of the boat.
Okay.
All right, hold
All
on
right.
1 second.
One last question. Can I afford you?
It's a good question. Lots of people ask that. We have actually, we give payment plans, to be honest with you. And the payment plans are a couple $100 a month, so most people can afford. All right? So
All right.
hold on 1 second.
All right.
All right, hold on. All right. I liked her.
Yeah, she's nice.
Yes. You know, we do have an attorney, Spahn Bernstein attorney close up, partner and immigration attorney Shannon Laguerre Mengret, talks about one of the most common questions she gets from clients. Let's watch.
Some of the common questions I get from clients are, why is it taking so long for my case? And so, unfortunately, we're in an administration where things are basically being, I feel, somewhat intentionally delayed. It's much longer to get your work permit. Before, it used to be within 3 months you would get your work permit, and now it's actually 9 months. And so a lot of people will basically say to me, it doesn't make sense why it's taking so long. I know someone else and it was much quicker for them. A lot of times it's because of the fact that there's been delays on all these cases. But also the other issue is that every case is different. So your friend may have gotten either their work permit or their green card in a particular time, and it may be just a different case overall. You may think it's the same case, but it's not. And so those are some of the common questions why it's taking so long for particular cases.
Successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. All right, Marcy in Vacaville, California. Marcy.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good, finally. First of all, thank you very much for everything you do, and I agree with Rachel. You deserve a reward. You deserve a trophy. You deserve a bravo. You deserve...
I have it. This award, which you can't see because it's plastic.
Glass.
It's glass. It's glass, so if I'll be bleeding if
Oh,
I
wow.
hit myself on it.
Great. They should even make it gold-plated.
Maybe you can see it. What it says is Synopsis Digital Model D Awards, the Best in Online Video Content 2019, Best Web Series, Brad Show Live, Brad Bernstein Productions.
Woohoo, that says it all. Oh, my goodness.
And do you know who we beat? Not that I'm going to pat myself on the back. You ever hear of a show called Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Beat them.
Mm-hmm.
You ever hear of a cartoon SpongeBob? Beat them. You ever hear of World Wrestling Entertainment? Beat them.
Yeah.
Who else was? It was
Ellen
Jilly.
on there?
No, Ellen. We were not up against Ellen in that category.
Oh, Ellen. No. Oh, my God.
I was in a different category against Ellen, and she beat me.
Yes.
She beat you, obviously.
But obviously, obviously beat me because you're not Ellen, Brad, as great as you are.
Oh, my gosh.
So anyways, what's the question?
Okay, my cousin was sponsored through an aunt of mine, and then she came through a B1, B2 tourist visa, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she came, and then she went back, and then the second time she came, she just stayed over her visa for over 6 months.
Right.
So my question is like, she just filed for a tax ID, and she's just working, and my question is the aunt, the sponsor, does have the right to deport her back to her country? Does she have the power to do that?
She's working, and the aunt has the power to deport her, as you're asking?
No, she's here, but she doesn't have any papers or anything. But the aunt is like, does the aunt who sponsored her has the power to deport her back to her country?
What do you mean the aunt sponsored her? I don't understand. What did the aunt do to help her?
She sponsored her through tourist visa.
Okay, all right. So a couple things, so we could be very clear. The aunt never sponsored anybody for anything. Okay, the most the aunt did was give an invitation letter to her to say, "Come visit me." That would be the most the aunt did. The aunt is not the Department of Homeland Security. The aunt is not ICE. The aunt has absolutely zero power to do anything to her. What the aunt can do as a concerned citizen is call ICE up and harass ICE to go arrest her. Anyone could do that. The aunt could do that. Yo-Yo could do that. He wouldn't.
No.
But but anyone can do that. If she's concerned that the aunt is going to call, then you can't stop the aunt from calling. All you can do is be somewhere where the aunt doesn't know where you are, so she can call all she wants. Go get my niece. Okay, what's her address? I don't have the slightest idea. And that's the end of it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So as far as she doesn't know the address or anything,
Yeah, how would she know How would she know where to tell ICE to get her?
Okay.
I mean, I'm not telling anyone to evade, the law, and your niece should have a consultation to try to figure out how to become legal. But to answer your specific question, what can you do? Nothing.
Exactly. So, like, a cousin of hers says, "Oh, your aunt has put your information to immigration, and they're gonna be looking for you. So maybe that's just a threat." So.
Okay, so immigration's looking for her and 10 million other people.
Okay.
They're not doing a manhunt looking for her. She didn't commit a
So
crime.
does that, like, if she wants to travel within the States, like just from LA to San Francisco, can she still fly, or is it something that she cannot do?
Yeah, that's TSA. Show her passport. That's fine.
She can still do that,
Listen,
or can't?
let me explain something to you. Okay? If you're out of status, you take a risk getting out of bed and walking out the door every morning. Okay? I can't tell you immigration's going to be there, immigration's not going to be there. Can she get on a plane? Can't she get on a plane? Is immigration looking for her? Is immigration not looking for her? Is this okay to do? Is that okay to do? There's a risk in everything you do. Yeah, I mean, you have to be smart about what you do in life. And the smartest thing is to try to figure out how to become legal. With that being said, to answer your specific question, what can the aunt do? The aunt can't do anything. She's not ICE. All the aunt can do is call ICE up on the phone and say, go get this lady. She lives at 1 Main Street. And if ICE comes and knocks on the door at 1 Main Street and there's no lady there, they're not going to do a manhunt looking for her.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thanks for calling.
Thank you.
All right. I don't know if maybe that was her. I don't know. Omar in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Omar.
Afternoon.
How are you?
Evening, Brad. I am a green card holder. I'm trying to file for my 2 daughters. I'm in Florida. They're living in Connecticut. Where would I submit the I-130?
Where your daughter's over 21 or under 21?
No, they're 10 and 4.
Okay, and you're a citizen?
No, I'm a resident. My wife gonna file for them.
All right, so you're gonna file adjustments for them.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I would file they're living with their mother?
Yes, yeah, they're living with their mother.
Yeah. Well, you would be filing an adjustment application for them to come live with you. So presumably it would be Florida.
Okay, so I would have to submit it to Florida.
Yes, because just understand the concept. The adjustment is for family reunification. So the children would be coming to live with you in Florida. That's what you're doing.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, so what if they don't come to live with me? Then
there's no family reunification. You don't have a right to. I mean, you can file for them, but immigration's going to give you a problem because you're subverting the purpose of the law, which is to keep families together.
Okay, so there's fine for them to come then to live with me.
When you file for a family member, okay, you're filing for a family member to be reunited with that family member. If you're in Connecticut, they're in Connecticut, you're in Florida, where's the reunification?
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, I guess I'll have to have a consultation.
Maybe. Then. Hold on. All right, I heard a baby in the background.
I did too.
Yes. Let's go to busy guy. 2 kids in Connecticut, at least 1 baby in his arms. Keisha in Orlando. Keisha.
Hello.
Hi, Keisha.
Hi, I have a question. I'm not going to keep you on the phone long. I filed, we got approved and everything, and I canceled the appointment due to the uproar in Haiti, all that violence, killing and stuff. And the immigration sent me an email asking me, do I want to continue? So I said yes. They said, if you want to continue, you have to send a letter with it notarized, and I did that September the 9th.
Who's filing for who?
I filed for my fiance. He's in Haiti.
And you canceled the appointment in Haiti because you didn't want him to go to Port-au-Prince because of the violence?
He was, a lot of people was canceling him, and I asked before I canceled the appointment because it was closed, and he couldn't make it due to the violence and stuff was going on. But when I called them, they told me that I needed to write a letter stating that I want to continue on with the process.
Right.
I wrote a letter and got it notarized, and this was September the 9th, 2019 of this year. And I'm calling every day to check on the status, and we still have not yet gotten an appointment. And his medical has expired.
So he's going to have to take a new medical, and you can keep calling, or you can have somebody who can get in touch with somebody who can get in touch with somebody call on your behalf. But it's just a matter of just, harassing them and trying to get an appointment.
And so is it guaranteed we're going to get an appointment? Or
no, I mean, because what happens is once you don't go to your first appointment, it's not like you're their priority anymore. There's a lot of people behind you, So, unfortunately, he didn't show up. You can reschedule.
He went, but it was already canceled.
I canceled it. Oh, the embassy canceled it.
No, I canceled it because it was going like a whole bunch of stuff was going on. So I canceled it.
If you canceled it, then. Let me tell you what the other problem is. Okay. On your I-129 application, it only gives you a window of time in which the K-1 is approvable. It's like a 4 or 5 month window. So if you canceled it, if you have to look at that I-129 approval, they usually give you a 4 or 5 month period. If you're beyond that 4 or 5 month period, you got to start again.
Really?
Really.
So they're not telling me anything. Every time I call, they always saying, "Oh, just call back."
I'm telling you. Look at the I-129. They'll say the K-1 is approved from this date to this date. That's what it's going to say on the I-129. If you're beyond this date, then it doesn't matter. They're never going to schedule you. You got to start again. All right, and it's beyond this date already, is my guess.
Wow, because they keep telling me, give it some time, wait patiently.
Yeah, you wait.
I'm like,
I just told you the answer. So look at the I-129. If you're still within that time frame of this date to that date, then call us and let us try to help you. Other than that, you got to file again. But don't cancel appointments again. It's a disaster. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Never cancel. Owen in Stowe, Vermont.
Yes, I'm here.
How are you?
I'm great. My question is, I am an H-2B worker. My parents, she filed for me and it is approved and ready to process. So I'm asking, do I have to leave this state? I'm in Stowe, Vermont, working as an H-2B worker. Do I have to leave this state to go back to Jamaica to get that interview?
Who's sponsoring you?
Could I do it here?
Who's sponsoring you?
My mom.
And the priority date is current?
September 2013.
Let's look.
And we got the letter approved.
Let's look at the. I don't have it up. 1 second. Let's look at the visa bulletin. And for December 2019, you're single, sir?
So I'm single.
Yes. Are you single?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And you are
H-2B worker.
You're an H-2B worker.
Yes.
Okay. So the answer is they're up to November 15th, 2013. You're September, so you're eligible to adjust your status if you're in legal status here right now.
I am able to adjust the status?
Yes. Hold on 1 second if you need help, because the priority date
okay.
is current
No.
for you. So hold on 1 second, all right? All right. Oops. Owen. Too many buttons to press here.
Right.
Let's go to John in Atlanta, Georgia. John.
Hello.
Hi, John.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
Okay, I have one question
Yes.
about N400.
Okay.
I applied for my N400 based into 3-year marriage in September 2019. They sent me fingerprint letter. I did my fingerprint. After 1 month, they sent me interview
Appointment.
notice.
Okay.
So,
What is the question?
Appointment.
What's the question?
So I went to the interview they took my fingerprint. After 2 hours, the officer came and called us, me and my lawyer, and we went to the officer room.
Is there a
and the
question?
officer
Is
said
there a
to
question
wearing
in the
hat.
history of this? What is the question?
And my question, the officer say he didn't see my file. We didn't have interview. He didn't see my file. So they will reschedule me and send me another letter for interview.
What is the question?
Yeah, I don't know. But when I came home, I just checked my mailbox and I see my interview letter was cancelled 3 days ago before I went there.
What is the question?
And my question is, how to do? I don't know what to do to get another interview letter.
Your case.
Appointment.
You filed for your citizenship in September. It is now December. 3 months. You were lucky and got a quick interview. Okay? They didn't have your file. Yeah. Immigration screwed up. You got to wait now at least 120 days from the time of your interview, from the time they canceled it, to reschedule. If more than 120 days comes and goes, then you can contact me and we can talk about what to do. But right now, it's only 3 months into your case.
All right.
All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is it me?
Nope.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
You asked a couple times.
Who's me? It's not me, right?
Nah.
All right, let's go to Stanley in Fargo, North Dakota. Stanley.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Bro, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay, I'm Stanley from Fargo, North Dakota. I came to America with an A2 visa, and I got married to my beautiful wife.
Great.
And hello?
I'm listening. You got married to a beautiful wife.
Yeah, and the question is this. We got married, and she's a medical student.
Right.
And she, because of the school process, she got on food stamp. And then I was thinking that is this food stamp going to affect the process because she decided to file for me?
Yep. Get off food stamps. If you can't afford, when you get food stamps,
she got a food stamp card.
When you get food stamps, Stanley, from the U.S. government, you're telling the U.S. government you're so poor you can't afford to buy food. Okay, you're below the poverty level. You can't afford food. Please feed me. When you file an immigration application, you're telling the government I can support my spouse 125% above the poverty level. Well, what is it? You can't afford to feed yourself, or you can afford to support your husband 125% above the poverty level, because those things don't jive. So if she wants to sponsor you and you want to be able to get a green card, no food stamps.
Okay, so in the process, before filing, she can cancel the food stamp, right?
Do it now.
Do it now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and then my second question, I've been thinking about it. It's based $62,000 annual. Has it taken effect? Has it been passed into law?
For adjustment of status, the old laws apply. For consular processing, the new laws apply. So if you're in Fargo, North Dakota, you made a legal entry into America, you're adjusting your status, old laws apply.
Okay, so my spouse have to make this $62,000 annually.
No. What I said was old laws apply, which means she has to be 125% above the poverty level, and if she's not, you can get a second affidavit of support. All right, hold on 1 second, Stanley. All right. By the way, for everybody out there, if you did not get your immigration questions answered, we're going to come to social media check-in a few minutes. drop those questions right now because Yo-Yo is going to try to answer. Oh, Yo-Yo's not going to answer anything. Yo-Yo's going to ask as many questions as he can of me in our social media round. We're going to try to answer as many as we can. If you don't get your questions in on social media, you could always follow us on Facebook and drop your questions, and we'll get to it on another show. Facebook's at Brad Show Live. You can follow us on YouTube, drop your questions. We'll get to it on another show. You can send us direct messages on Facebook and Messenger, and you'll be able to speak to somebody in our office to see if we can help you. You can also follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. If you follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein, you can drop me a DM. I'll see if I can help you. You can also follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram. See the best of our show, as well as now live on Instagram. I see 20 people watching live on Instagram.
Nice.
And Yo-Yo?
And you can follow me at Yonathan Elias TV.
Meanwhile, if you are injured in a construction site accident, you are due compensation for your injuries and loss of ability to work, but insurance companies will fight to pay you. And if you don't get the right attorney and listen to what they tell you, you may be hurting your case. Spar and Bernstein's personal injury attorney and partner, Moshe the Bulldozer Baruch, discusses one of the biggest pitfalls to watch out for in a construction accident case. Every year, 10% of construction workers in the United States of America get injured on the job. According to the Census of Fatal Occupational Injuries in 2017 alone, 5,147 construction workers died on the job. When an accident leaves a construction worker incapacitated, they and their families lose the financial security they once had. A good attorney is needed to make sure that the injured parties are compensated to the highest level, because most of the time they will never be able to work again. And there is one bite of the apple when it comes to fighting for compensation in court. With me to discuss what to do if you or your loved one is involved in a job construction accident is Spar and Bernstein's very own personal injury attorney and partner, Moshe the Bulldozer Baruch. Moshe, how are you?
Good.
We've already talked about, if you've been watching our series here, about using your telephone, not speaking to people, taking videos and pictures of what's around you, not trusting anyone but your doctors and your lawyers, going to the hospital by an ambulance who can document what happened, and now going for medical treatment. What are some of the pitfalls, Moshe, that somebody out there can do that they wouldn't be thinking otherwise is a problem that's going to come back and haunt them to affect their construction accident case?
So Brad, I tell people this all the time. Sometimes you can be your own worst enemy. And when I say that, I mean if you're complaining of pain to your lower back, you don't go and put videos of you doing yoga on Facebook, Brad.
Did that really happen?
That has happened to us several times, and not particularly this situation, but we did have a client who was injured severely to her back.
And she was really, to her credit, she was injured.
She was injured.
And did this through the pain.
Oh, absolutely. But the problem was she thought doing yoga would help alleviate the pain that she had. But because insurance companies are involved, what the insurance companies do is they go out and investigate what she's doing in her private life. And what they found in this case, Brad, was that she was teaching yoga. She was a yoga instructor. And so when the insurance company sees that, they don't believe that you're injured anymore. Although, again, yoga, for purposes of yoga, you want to make yourself feel better.
Even though she was legitimately in pain, legitimate injuries, she did things that maybe worked through her injuries, that you could take this video and show it to a jury and say, jury, does this woman look like she's in pain?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Does this woman look like she deserves millions of dollars? No. Even though she is literally in pain, even though what the doctors are saying are truthful, a video is very demonstrative and can sway people's minds. Insurance companies look at your social media all the time. You have to be really, really smart about what you're putting on social media, what you're doing in social media, correct?
Absolutely. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make when they're injured is they put their personal lives on Facebook, and you're showing the world that you're living a good, healthy life. And you don't want to do that because an insurance company, that's ammunition for them. And you don't want to give them that ammunition, Brad.
Tell us about a case, Moshe, where somebody listened to you, they didn't put anything on social media, a good construction case where you were able to handle it.
One of my clients was very smart. What he did was he deleted his Facebook account. He deleted his Instagram because it was a huge case, Brad. And what he did was he put an alter ego as his Facebook name. And now that when an insurance company is trying to go and search for his name, they couldn't find it. So that guy, Brad, who protected his Facebook account by using an alter ego, we got him $3.5 million.
Wow, that's amazing. Great job, Moshe.
Thank you, Brad. And that's one of the best things you can do. I'm not advocating for that because obviously some people don't want to do that, but that just shows you what lengths people are willing to go to protect their case, and I think that's very important.
All right. Well, Moshe, you've gotten people millions and millions of dollars in construction accidents, literally millions of dollars, case after case after case, and God forbid anybody is injured in an accident. You need Moshe Baruch, the bulldozer, to help you. Because the difference between getting millions of dollars and getting something less than millions of dollars is going to be the attorney that you hire. Give us a call. Give Moshe a call here at Spar and Bernstein, 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-529-5465. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. All right, we have something we like to call social media check-in.
All right, our first one comes from Mo saying, can the wife of a Maine asylum applicant go to native country with advanced parole due to mother health condition while asylum interview pending?
No, because if your husband's life is in danger, why wouldn't the wife's?
Wait, what?
She wants to know, my husband filed for asylum. He says, my life is in danger if I go home. I'm a derivative on his case. Can I go home?
Oh. Well, how about if it's not the same country?
It's the same country.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Amoch saying, is there a way to get a K-1 interview day at the embassy in Kenya? I've been waiting since August for one to open, but nothing available.
Yes, you got to call us, we'll call them, or you call yourself. But somebody's got to contact the embassy.
All right, Taj saying, my husband is a permanent resident and I'm in the U.S. on a B1 visa. I got my I-130 approval notice in August. Now I'm putting my I-485 together. Do I have to do a medical before submitting the form, or should I wait?
Wait for the interview, but make sure you're still in legal status when you file the adjustment.
Okay, Hanny saying, my son had his interview in September. However, they got some more documents, which they said, or they did, they took his passport on the day of the interview, but it was never returned. I tried calling the embassy in Jamaica, but can't get any answers. When I check the case status, it says administrative processing. How long does this normally take?
It shouldn't take more than 120 days. If it is, if it's more than 120 days, call us.
Karena saying, squad up, could an undocumented person open a bank account? If so, how?
Yes, go to a bank and you open up a bank account. You don't necessarily need a social security number. The only time you need a social security number is when you open up an interest-bearing account, because they have to notify the government about the interest they paid you, because that's taxable. But if you open up a non-interest-bearing account, meaning I don't want any interest, then they don't need a social security number. Now, some banks will still require a social, others don't. So you got to try bank to bank. But the reality is they shouldn't require one, because they don't have to report anything to the government in terms of interest for taxes.
Okay, Jacqueline saying, wanted to know if I can file unemployment for my job. We worked 9 months out of the year. I'm filing for my family.
Why not?
All right. So she can, if she's filing for her family?
Yeah, because that's not need-based assistance. Okay? Donald Trump, if he got impeached and lost his job, presumably could file for unemployment.
But she still has to
even though that he got fired for cause, so then maybe he would. But assuming he did get fired for cause,
but she still would have to make. She still would have to make.
Yeah, she may need a second affidavit of support, but it's not a bar because you're collecting government assistance.
Okay, Janice saying, good evening to you. I filed the I-130 for my 2 children, ages 16 and 8, 1 year now. Only thing is I got the receipt. I didn't hear anything else.
What's the question?
When are they supposed to hear something, maybe?
I don't know. How old are the kids?
16 and 8.
And she's
this
a
was a year ago. Just said that I filed an I-130.
Okay. If it's more than a year, give us a call, because it's too long, whether you're a citizen or a resident.
Tasha is saying, my boyfriend went on a J1 visa to teach. He wants to know if he can come and marry me. Do you think I'll get on a J2 visa?
Yes.
Kajelia saying, squad up and running. Do I have to do a consultation first before I can get the lawyer file a mandamus on my case where the processing time for my I-131 and I-765 is over 7 months, 8 months, and counting?
Yes, you do. And quite frankly, if you can't, you're not willing to pay for a consultation, you're not going to be willing to pay for a mandamus.
All right.
Because we don't know what we're doing. You just can't say, here, file a mandamus. I'm like, how, what, where, who?
Right. Because it's still a consultation when you
Yeah.
give them the information, right? All right, Safie is saying, I filed an I-360 for 3 years now, and then I filed a mandamus since August, and they asked for more time. Is this normal?
Government could always ask for more time. You don't have to give it to them.
Okay.
then let a judge decide. I
Right.
mean, I wouldn't give them more time. You had plenty of time, and that's why I'm filing the mandamus.
Right. Sandra saying, I paid for my green card from August 19th, and all now I can't receive it. Can you say how long it takes for my sister petition for me?
Over 10 years.
Cindy saying, how long will it take my friend's son who is in Air Force here in the U.S. to file an I-130 for my mom, or the mom who's in Africa, to come to America?
12 months.
Kay saying, I received a notice for an interview in January for my marriage-based green card. How soon do you think my kids will get here? Or how long will the kids get their interview? They're both under 18 back in the Caribbean.
I have no idea what you did for the kids. You have to file separately for the children.
All right. Elena saying, I sponsored my husband. I'm a U.S. citizen.
So let me just be clear. If she didn't file separately for the kids are never getting an interview.
Oh. Yikes. All right, Elena saying, I sponsored my husband. I'm a U.S. citizen. He does not have health insurance or high school diploma. Should we worry about this at the Guatemala embassy?
Yes.
Christine saying, I have a few questions. First, I would like to ask for the initial interview for the I-485 adjustment of status. Do they separate both spouses or both present in the interview?
Depends. Sometimes they do. It's called the Stokes interview.
Right. Also, is it necessary for us to have a lawyer present during the initial interview?
Nothing's ever necessary. You don't have to have a lawyer be there. You don't have to diagnose yourself with any medical condition. There's lots of things. You can fly the plane yourself, but if you don't know how to fly a plane, you'll crash it. You don't know how to diagnose your medical condition, you'll die. And if you don't know what the hell you're doing at an immigration interview, which you most likely don't because it'll be your first time going through it, you're most likely to screw up. If there's an opportunity to screw up, you'll do it.
All right. Ben saying, my cousin filed for adjustment F2A in July 19th, and USCIS said the approved I-130 will be sent to NVC because they can't decide if he can adjust it here. It's 3 months now, and NVC doesn't have the I-130. What should he do?
They don't decide whether you can adjust. You decide whether you can adjust and prove it to the Immigration Service. You need a lawyer.
Drew Berry saying, what to do if your I-601 misrepresentation waiver denied for AOS and you cannot provide hardship towards the spouse?
File again or give up and go home. I mean, what are your choices?
Karina saying, my friend who's a LPR filed an I-130 for her son when he was 20, who is back in his home country. He was approved recently and he's now 22. He now has a child. What should his mother do now?
Who filed for who?
My friend who is an LPR filed an I-130 for her son. So the mother who's an LPR filed for her son.
If the grandson was under 21, that grandson's included. Because the grandson was 22 or the son was 22?
The son was 20. Now the son is 22, but the son has a child now.
If the child was born before the son got his green card, that's a derivative. If this child was born after, then the son's got to turn around and file for that child.
Okay. Anne saying, I filed an I-130 for my daughter in Jamaica, but my lawyer told me USCIS does not give back original birth certificates. Is this true?
No, you should be able to get it back. It's hard to get it back, but they shouldn't hold on to your original birth certificate.
Okay. Elena saying, I could not fit my whole question, but my husband makes $57,000 for a family of 3, and my husband does not have the high school diploma and health insurance. Should we worry about the embassy interview still?
You always worry about an embassy interview. The laws have changed.
Yes. All right. Do I need to file a separate I-485 for my children under 21 years old?
Yes.
Okay, Astride saying, I'm currently doing the visa processing for my husband at NVC. However, I'm a little concerned because I have not seen my husband for 2 years. Is this an issue for the visa?
Yes, because they're not going to believe it's a real marriage.
Yeah. All right, last for now is Daniel G saying, how does having language barrier affect adjustment of status based on marriage?
If you can't communicate with your wife, what kind of marriage is this? Right?
This is very true.
Meanwhile, I recently spoke with Amirah Sackett. Now, Amirah is an American-born Muslim who has created a unique style of Muslim hip-hop dance moves with a dance group called We're Muslim, Don't Panic. Amirah's goal is to break stereotypes about Muslim women and to help stamp out Islamophobia through our art. Let's watch. Amirah Sackett is a multi-generational Muslim living in Chicago, Illinois. She has created a unique style of Muslim hip-hop dance that is showcased in her dance troupe, We're Muslim, Don't Panic. Amirah is a dancer, a choreographer, educator, and activist who is with me today to explain how she is breaking the stereotypes Muslim women face with hijabs and sneakers. Welcome, Amirah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
It's good. Let me see a quick clip of We're Muslim, Don't Panic. What are people's reactions?
Most people really genuinely love it. I think that dance is an art form that a lot of people respond to in a positive way. The general population is taken aback that there's like a Muslim woman who wears hijab who does this kind of powerful movement. I think that it's just appreciated for what it is in its art form.
What compelled you to start this dance troupe and have it so identify as being Muslim?
I started We're Muslim, Don't Panic, which is kind of my company name. The piece that was just featured is called Love Embraces All, which is a solo that is supported by dancers. And I started this idea back in 2011. I have been dancing my whole life, and I was really upset with the way that the media was portraying Muslim women. I felt that our voices weren't being heard, we weren't being represented in the full spectrum that we exist. And so I decided, what is my art form? It's dance. My medium is hip hop. And so I'm like, what can I do to kind of create something that shows us in a different light, shows our power and beauty?
You're American born. This troupe, you decided you're going to dance in traditional garments, or you've always been dancing like this?
I wear hijab every day. When I created this, however, I wasn't fully comfortable with both aspects of myself. So being Muslim, being in hip hop, it was a lot to explain to people, right? How these two things could actually coexist. But I existed in hip hop culture, which the underground scene, which was breaking, and this style that I do, popping. And these dance styles are really gender neutral. They're under the umbrella of hip hop culture. They're dances that are primarily done where we battle each other, but me doing something theatrical and something that puts the Muslim identity in the spotlight, that was something definitely new for me. As artists, it's our job to say something, right? So we speak up for the oppressed. Also educate the population of people from other faiths in this country about Muslim women. I also do a lecture where I talk about hijab, why Muslim women wear it, and misconceptions within Islam.
What you've been doing, has it broken down any stereotypes?
I think the best thing that's happened since I've been traveling all over the country, doing lectures, teaching workshops, and performing, is that I get to speak about Islam. I get to speak about some aspects of it that people don't ever hear. I feel a sense of unity between the people that come to my show.
What has been the reaction from the hip hop community?
My hip hop community loves me. So, they were like, you might be pushing the envelope here, Amirah, doing something like this. But as far as hip hop goes, I don't really exist in the commercialized hip hop. That's a totally different scene, I feel like, than I exist in. So when you're talking about music videos and things for entertainment, that's commercialized hip hop.
From a different perspective, was there any criticism from within the Muslim community that maybe you're doing something you shouldn't be doing?
Yeah, of course. I think as soon as someone hears the word dance and a woman dancing, their immediate image is someone dancing behind a rapper, skimpy. And so a lot of people have these different concepts of hip hop as being one thing, and then they don't realize the dance style I do is like, I'm doing the robot and doing all these kind of angular dance moves with my arms. Generally, when people see the actual dance, they're like, oh, okay, I get it. That's not really what I thought it was. But you're always going to have critics, somebody that isn't comfortable with you mixing dance and religion or, art and religion. But I think that generally when people see the dance, they realize that I'm speaking with my heart about common issues that we all face.
You grew up where?
Part of my life was spent in Chicago.
Do people assume because you're wearing a hijab that you were not born in America?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day.
And what do you say?
It doesn't bother me.
You just laugh. You laugh at it.
I laugh at it. I'm like, no, I'm born from Chicago. And they're like, no, really, where are you from? The beauty of it is that that's a learning place as well. As Muslims, one of the gifts that we have right now are these continued opportunities to talk to our fellow Americans and neighbors. And I think just being who you are is really powerful in this day and age. Me walking down the street sometimes has as much impact as me doing a dance performance talking about Islam.
Now, what does wearing the hijab mean to you as a Muslim?
Through my studies of Islam, it's something that is prescribed for us as modesty and a protection for us.
Is there a conflict between dressing modestly as a Muslim and dancing as a woman, even provocatively to some?
If I was dancing provocatively, it would be a problem. My intention behind my dances is never to be provocative in a sexual way. It wouldn't be acceptable for me to be in public doing those dance styles. I have to make choices as a Muslim about how I'm presenting my dance, what I'm wearing, and how I'm dancing.
What are the moves in poppin'?
The style that I really do a lot of is called tutting, and it's based off King Tut, Egyptian hieroglyphics, which also happens to be like all geometry. So all of these kind of shapes that I make with my hands and my arms is creating shapes in space and kind of creating these illusions. And I do the robot a lot. Right. So I'm one of the few females that do this dance. We're kind of in the minority. It's definitely a male-dominated dance form. There's still so much training that goes into it. And then there's a competitive aspect to it as well.
These contests, what do you win at the end?
Respect.
Money? Respect. It's respect.
I don't enter as many battles now. I judge a lot of battles. And being a judge in a battle, I'm looking for kind of creativity. I'm looking for technique. But because I also love theater and I love choreographing pieces, that's what leads me to create these pieces that have more of a storyline.
How does your creativity actually work in actually coming up with the dance?
I'm really inspired right now by poetry. A lot of the work that I'm doing currently utilizes the poetry of Rumi, who is a 13th century Islamic scholar and poet who is very famous. You know, when you read poetry, there's these visual images that you have in your mind. If it's talking about building something up and tearing something down, there's a physical image that comes to my mind. And so then when I'm dancing, I create from those words.
Tell us a little bit about some of your memorable performances.
One of the best performances I had was in Bangladesh. In 2014, I traveled there as part of a team called Next Level, which was a diplomacy program through the U.S. State Department and University of North Carolina for us to kind of connect with artists in Bangladesh that were involved in hip hop. And we created this show. At this point in time in Dhaka, a lot of people weren't really exposed to hip hop, so they didn't really know a lot about it. All of our performers, both from the US and from Bangladesh, got a standing ovation. For me, it meant a lot. And I was like crying because being in a Muslim country, standing up, doing my art, and having it respected and appreciated and loved. So it's one of the happiest moments I've had.
Now, you recently also performed in Chicago in November in something called Al Nafs.
Al Nafs was a piece that I created and set on Chicago Dance Crash, which is a hip-hop dance company here. Tommy Hensel, who really believed in me as an artist, commissioned me to set this piece on 9 dancers in Chicago. So I'm like, okay, how do I do a piece that reflects my Islamic perspective, but set it on people who are non-Muslim? And it's really about the struggle against the self. In Islam, this is a huge responsibility of every Muslim. And so I created an entire dance piece exploring that. Within that process, we really grew close together as a family. I feel that the concepts of religion or the philosophies of Islam are not just for Muslims. They're like for the entire world.
Are you fearful these days walking the streets wearing a hijab as a Muslim?
Well, I'm from Chicago, so I'm not afraid.
You're too tough. You're tough. You're right. True.
I'm pretty tough.
True.
I'm pretty tough over here.
Have you had any situations?
I think all of us have had, situations that have been uncomfortable as Muslims, whether our name is Muhammad,
Right.
or whether we're wearing hijab. One time, me and my friends who also wear hijab were walking down the street and some guy rode by on a bike and spit at us.
Mm-hmm.
This is in Chicago. People making comments that are not really cool with me, and I have to keep my peace. And I think that the main thing that we need to do is try to break down those kind of assumptions we make about people. Whether you're Muslim, whether you're black, whether you're brown, we have to just look at the person for who they are. But definitely the rise in hate speech has emboldened people to just feel that they can lash out at certain groups. Fighting Islamophobia across the country, I'm exposed to smaller towns and to Muslims in those communities who let me know about stories that are happening to them that you're never going to hear on the news, but that are frightening. That really is why I continue to do this work. The more that we have these discussions, the less that this hate speech will have power.
What are you telling people to get them to change their mind about Muslims if they are fearful?
I start talking about the similarities between Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, and how they all come from the same root and source of the Abrahamic faith. Because hip hop is something that we share as Americans, I feel like when people see me dance and when they hear me talk, they can relate to me. Maybe if I teach a dance workshop, these kids are like, "Ooh, cool, show me how to do this, show me how to do that." But in the end, it might make them look differently at a classmate, for instance, that starts to wear hijab, or another Muslim student, because they've had an interaction with me, they related to me. And so now their image of Muslims is a little bit shifted.
Right.
That's my hope.
Where do we find out more about you and your group, Where Muslim Don't Panic?
So you can kind of check out AmirahSackett.com and the work that I do. That will kind of give you information if you're interested in booking me in a school to do a performance. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Amirah Sackett. YouTube, you can look me up on there. And then on Facebook, Where Muslim Don't Panic. I do post a lot of articles about Islam and about Muslims and about different situations that you don't always hear in the mainstream news.
All right, really cool. Tell me if you feel you've achieved your American dream, if you have more to go.
I think that being an artist has not been the easiest road, but it's such a beautiful journey that I've had, and I'm so thankful to Allah and thankful to all the people that have supported me and mentored me along the way. I feel that I am living the life that I really, really wanted to live, and it makes me really proud and happy to also encourage others to go after their passions, work hard at their talents, even if it seems unconventional.
Amirah Sackett, thank you very much. Good luck with your career. Good luck with Where Muslim Don't Panic, and we look forward to hearing and seeing about you in the future. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, Julian, put 1 minute on the clock. 1 minute. 10 questions. 1 minute. Car's slowing down. I hope that car's not slowing down too much.
All right.
All right. Car's slowing down a little bit there.
Let's get it up there.
All right, you ready? 1 minute.
Ready?
On your first breath. Take a deep breath. We got to go through this fast.
I'm nervous. It's
We
a
have blown up the studio, I think, 3 days in a row.
Yeah, have we ever done this in a minute?
Never.
Oh, shoot. All right.
Are you ready? Go.
Ramon says, I filed a motion to reopen, was denied. Joint motion to reopen was I-212. Was what to do next?
We got to review your case, but you have an order of deportation.
Born El Nino said, is it safe to travel on the AP?
Yes.
DJ Rick saying, I'm a U.S. citizen. My 16-year-old daughter just came up. I filed for it. Is she an automatic citizen?
If she lives with you and you're legal and physical custody and you're a citizen, yes.
Dev says, is DACA going to pass in 2020?
The hell do I know?
Priscilla says, what is the mandamus?
That's when you make a lawsuit to the federal judge to force the government to make a decision.
Funmi says, what do I do if my status adjustment is denied?
Refile it again, but figure out why the denial and fix it.
How long does it take to get a work permit and parole?
About 3 to 6 months.
Denisha says, at what age can a child file for their parent in a different country?
21.
BB says, I just got a temporary green card. What can I do to file for my daughter who's now 20?
File an I-130.
Ann says, can my LPR husband file for me?
Yes.
That's it.
There we go.
Yeah. All right, my heart is like racing.
Right. It's like the $25,000 pyramid. You ever see that? You ever see that game show where you have to like answer all those questions in 30 seconds?
Damn, yeah, I already had a headache,
so
and I think my headache has gotten worse.
All right, you want to feel better? You want your headache to feel better?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about comments of the day. That'll always make your headache feel better.
I was really nervous.
It's not pleasant when the studio blows down.
No, especially when it's just you reading it, because then you can't blame it on nobody else.
That's right. There's no Vanessa here to blame it on. Right.
All right, guys. Our first comment of the day comes from Nadine Stewart saying, immigration stress is a real medical condition, LOL. And Brad is the doctor with the right medication.
All right.
Oh, are you the new baby boy doctor?
Dr. Brady Boy.
Dr. Brady Boy.
A little different than Dr. Baby Boy.
Yeah,
a little different medicine.
It's also different from Uncle Brad.
Yes.
All right, our second comment of the day comes from Demore Romez saying, the Brad show is contagious.
Yeah, I agree.
You trying to catch that?
That's right. Achoo!
All right, guys, our third comment of the day comes from Donna Bless saying, Uncle Brad, I always be looking forward to seeing you and hearing your voice. Your chirpiness makes my day.
Oh, very nice. Thank you very much. I make so many people's days. It makes me feel good.
Good.
What I say when I come in, I said it's my favorite 2 hours of the day.
You do say
doing
that.
The show.
You do say that.
It is my favorite.
Mine too.
Yeah.
All right, our fourth comment of the day comes from Karen Rose saying, a couple of days feels like ages when you miss the show.
It feels like that for me too, trust me.
Does it?
Yes. It does. It does.
It does. We always miss you guys. All right, everybody, our last comment of the day comes from the great Lisa Bling Rose saying, I'm showing some love to Uncle Brad. It's coming to the end of the year, and I want to say it's the best show that ever happened from 5:30 to 7:30. Thanks, Uncle Brad and crew behind the scenes.
All right. Thank you very much, Lisa Bling.
That's
the
awesome.
best show from 5:30 to 7:30.
Yeah.
At least we're the best in that 2 hour period,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for watching. Tomorrow's Hump Day. We'll see you tomorrow. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of... That's 1-800-LAW-LINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And, of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-529-5465, and now conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465.